Today everyone, I will be discussing about marine ecosystem focusing on zonation, biota, and distinguishing features of it, which is part of our Unit 6 major ecosystem. So first, what is ecosystem? A marine ecosystem is a large aquatic environment with high salt content, like oceans, coral reefs, and estuaries. It covers about 71% of Earth's surface. It, it is made up of living organisms like fish, plants, and microorganisms, and non-living factors like sunlight, temperature, and water depth. So marine ecosystems are divided into zones, which we call zonation. There are two types of zonation, which is the horizontal zonation and the vertical zonation. First is the horizontal zonation. In horizontal zonation, there are three zones, which is the intertidal zone, Lauritic zone, and oceanic zone. In first is the intertidal zone. This area is closest to shore. It is covered with water during high tide and exposed during low tide. Organisms here must adapt to changing conditions. For example, the barnacles, crabs, sea stars, and many more. Next is the Neolithic zone. So this is located over the continental shelf. It is shallow, which is rich in nutrients and receives plenty of sunlight. So many organisms live here. For example, coral, shrimp and crabs, sea turtles, and plankton, and more. Next is the oceanic zone. The oceanic zone is the open ocean. It is very deep and has fewer nutrients, so fewer organisms live here. For example, whales, dolphins, sharks, tuna, and swordfish, and many more. So next is the vertical zonation. So the vertical zonations has also three zones, which is the photic zone, aphotic zone, and benthic zone. So photic zone is the upper layer up to 200 meters deep. It receives sunlight, so photosynthesis can happen. That's why many organisms are found here. For example, phytoplankton, small fish, or sardines. Next is photic zone. The photic zone is below 200 meters. This is this is no sunlight, so no photosynthesis. Organisms here depend on food from above or organisms, for example, squid or deep sea jellyfish. Next is the benthic zone. So the benthic zone is the ocean floor. As depth increases, fewer organisms are found due to extreme conditions. For examples are the sea cucumbers, crabs, and sea stars. So the living organisms in marine ecosystem are called biota, and they are grouped into three types. First, the plankton, nekton, and the benthos. So, first is plankton. Plankton are small organisms that drift in water. Phyto- there are two types of plankton, the phytoplankton and the zooplankton. The phytoplankton are like plant organisms and they perform photosynthesis. And the zooplankton are animal-like organisms and they feed on phytoplankton or other small organisms. Next is nekton. Nekton are strong swimmers like fish, squid, and whales. Next is benthos. Benthos lie at the bottom of the ocean, such as crabs, sea stars, and worms and crabs. So there are two types of benthos, the epifauna and the infauna. So the epifauna is live on the surface of the ocean floor. Examples are sea stars and crabs. And the infauna is live and buried in the sand or sediment. Example, worm or clams. So marine ecosystem has several distinguishing features that greatly affects how organisms live or survive and adapt in the environment. There are five distinguishing features, which is salinity, light availability, temperature, water pressure, and water movement. So first is the salinity. A marine water refers to Salinity refers to the amount of salt in seawater. Because ocean water is salty, marine marine organisms must have a special adaptation to maintain the right balance of water and salt inside their bodies. For example, some fish drink seawaters and remove excess salt through their gills. So, next is the light availability. So, light availability decreases as depth increases. Sunlight can only penetrate the upper layer of the ocean called the photic zone. So, this is where photosynthesis happens. So, most plants and algae live near the surface. In deeper areas, there is little to no light, so organisms rely on other food sources. Next is the temperature. So temperature in oceans is not the same everywhere. The surface water is usually warmer because it is heated by the sun, while deeper water is much colder and more stable. Organisms in deep waters are adapted to survive in cold conditions with a little temperature change. Next is water pressure. So water pressure increases as depth increases. The deeper you go, the heavier the water becomes, which can affect the body structures of organisms. Deep sea creatures often have flexible bodies or special adaptations to withstand this extreme pressure. And lastly, the water movement. Includes waves, tides, and ocean currents. These movements help distribute nutrients, oxygen, and heat throughout the ocean. They also play a big role in transporting marine organisms like plankton and larvae from one area to another. So, for conclusion, marine ecosystems are important and diverse environments shaped by their isolation, biota, and distinguishing features. These factors determine how organisms live, interact, and survive in the ocean. Understanding them helps us realize the importance of protecting marine life and maintaining ecological balance. And that's all from my report. Thank you for listening.